Newfoundland's sheer distance and difference from Canadian mainstream society has taken a toll both on how the culture defines itself and how it's defined by others. Encouraged since 1949 to view the latest addition to the family as a chronic economic liability, the helpless foundling dumped on Canada's doorstep, the rest of Canada has felt utter impunity regarding Newfoundland with indifference. Moreover, the phenomenon of the Newfie joke served to make matters worse. Only in the last decade has it become apparent that the real joke has been on the rest of the country. Remarkably, perpetual hardship in Newfoundland has not produced a culture defined by despair or even resignation. Instead, it has produced a wealth of scathing, fearless, and pointed satire. This is something of a Canadian cultural talent, but in Newfoundland, it's intensified by the province's status as the edge-dweller of an already marginal country. For theatre-going Canadians, this satirical revelation was no secret, as the various members of the St. John's-based Codco troupe, founded in 1973, had been taking their distinctive brand of bird-flipping humor on the road for years. It wasn't really until the mid-1980s when the CBC began to intermittently broadcast an uproariously ill-tempered sketch program called Codco that the rest of Canada finally got an opportunity to see just how wickedly smart and funny the former butt of their childhood bullying had grown up to become. Initially, the program was buffeted by what seemed to be that lingering sense of central Canadian antipathy. Having checked off the regional requirement to air the show, the CBC seemed little interested in doing anything to promote or develop it. Now, any fears, however, that the end of Codco might also mark the end of Newfoundland's triumphant comedic revenge on the mainland were quickly allayed by the announcement of a new program called This Hour Has 22 Minutes. The brainchild of Mary Walsh, 22 Minutes would amount to nothing less than a satirical stake driven through that most vaunted of Canadian public broadcasting institutions, the National Network News Program. Far more focused and tightly formatted than Codco, 22 Minutes adapted a seamlessly slick look and structure of a CBC news broadcast, only to use this familiar and nationally beloved format as a means of taking on some of Canada's more ridiculously respected elite institutions. The damn the consequences brazenness of the program couldn't have been more bracingly timely, as provincial governments in Alberta and Ontario were swinging mightily rightward, as the ultra-conservative Reform Party was gaining ground in the federal government, as the debate over Quebec's sovereignty tore open wounds which had never really had an opportunity to heal, and as the Liberal government under Jean Chrétien skipped away from campaign promises with the frightened deafness of a skittish welterweight, no one was speaking up more loudly, fearlessly, or hilariously than 22 Minutes.